In today's video, we're going to recap that first day and night experience of staying at Hotel Eastport and also tell you about our dinner at Yamas and our dessert over at Sundaze.
What's up, everybody? As you can tell from the advent calendar above Tiffany's head, it is Christmas Eve, and it's been a little less than a week since we went and stayed for the opening night at Hotel Eastport.
It was so much fun.
Yep.
It was fun to be a part of like the very first night, the very first time somebody stayed in a hotel room.
And you might also notice that there's no ornaments on our tree. There's a whole story behind that. Basically, you know, when we first moved in, Tiffany was decorating our old tree for every holiday. So we got the old tree out, got the Christmas decorations up, and then the lights died on us, and I tried unsuccessfully to revive it. So we had to go out and buy a brand new tree. So stay tuned. It's still to be seen if we're gonna actually redecorate this one or not, right?
It's 2 days. Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty.
There you
the way
go.
it is.
So we got there literally the day of because we had been out celebrating Tiffany's birthday. We went to Disney World for a few days to celebrate her birthday. But since we have been documenting the Eastport area for, golly, it seems like forever now.
Yeah.
And we've mentioned it multiple times. Hey, would you like to see us actually go stay at Hotel Eastport on opening night? We kind of felt obligated to do so. So when they first announced the reservations were online, I think that was the first week in November, we immediately booked a hotel room, and thankfully we did because the prices went up exponentially. So stay tuned. I'll tell you exactly how much we paid for our King Terrace suite on opening night. The very next night, if we wanted to rebook it, it was a lot more. So thankfully we did do that. Everything was pretty awesome about it, except for maybe two things. Number one was the weather. The villages can't control that. We can't control that. We had beautiful, December weather here, all in Central Florida. The big reason why we all moved to the villages or Central Florida. It was perfect leading up to it. And it was perfect basically, 24 hours after the grand opening. But unfortunately, on grand opening day, we had that front that came through that brought in a lot of drizzly rain. It's kind of a yucky day to be in FLA, but it's still an awesome day to be in the bubble of the Villages, Florida, even though we got a thunderstorm approaching, because today is the grand opening of Hotel Eastport. And a lot of you let us know in the comments from previous videos that you wanted Tiffany and I to book a room for the grand opening, the first official night. And that's what we have done. So I just dropped Tiffany off underneath the portico just a minute ago because it's sprinkling a little bit right now.
We're ready to check in.
Directly behind Tiffany, of course, is Sunset Island.
There may not be a sunset tonight with the clouds, but we're still going to go enjoy it. I think we were the fourth people to check in, right? We were the fourth people to check in.
We were trying to be the first ones. They did let early check in today, but we'll take being one of the first, the first five to check into the hotel.
They gave us our keys, and I love the front of it. It says, "Your Eastport experience begins now."
Here is our official room key. You do need your room key if you want to go on the elevator.
Make sure you stay tuned. Full room tour of this Terrace suite.
So thankfully it wasn't a thunderstorm, but it was drizzly, and it held off long enough for the villages to go out there and do their grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony.
1, 2, 3. Hotel Eastport!
So they did that, and then we kind of proceeded into the lobby where they had a champagne toast.
Welcome wagon. Yeah, let's go. Stand by. Stand by. Welcome wagon. Welcome.
There you go. Thank you.
Cheers. Grand opening.
And then they were starting to give free tours that day. Had we known they were giving free tours that day, we wouldn't have actually booked a room. We could have just done the free tour and saved a lot of money. But you only get to stay somewhere for the first night one time in your life.
That's right.
And we're glad we did it. Tiffany showed you in that previous video, they gave us some cookies and stuff like that. But in our room itself, you can see right here, they have the Hotel Eastport kind of little, what'd you call this, a little note card? Yeah. And they wrote on the note card there, we'll see if it can come into focus. It says, "Thank you for being our first guest. We're excited to welcome you to Eastport. We hope you have a fantastic stay. Your Hotel Eastport family." So I guess that's a good place to kind of kick off. You know, what were some of the things that we really liked about this experience and a couple of things that we didn't? The rain's one. They can't control that, so check that's done. But for me, probably the best thing was actually the hospitality, everybody, right?
Right.
So from the moment we checked in, we met the general manager, we met all the management team. So everybody came in to say hello to us. We met everybody and their staff and the folks that checked us in. Everybody just had a great hospitality, warm and welcoming everybody to the hotel, whether you were an actual paying guest or if you were there just a tour.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people that just came to kind of be looky-loos that first 24 hours, the opening ceremony, and then the whole next day. You just had people kind of meandering in, to check out Hotel Eastport.
But I think they expected that.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And again, they were very gracious. And
Yeah.
if people wanted to see the rooms, they showed them, the rooms and told them about the hotel and showed them around the hotel.
So congratulations to everybody in the management team. Y'all did a phenomenal job. So thank you for that. So while I went out and did the grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony and went down for the champagne toast, what were you doing?
I did a room tour before we messed up the room. I have to say that we can mess up a hotel room pretty easily, pretty quickly.
Yes. Like a hurricane hit it.
Yes. So I stayed up there and got the room before we messed everything up and unpacked our luggage and all of that.
So stay tuned to the end of this video. We'll show you Tiffany's walkthrough of our entire room and what that looked like. I was trying to think. The one other little negative thing I will point out though. So they checked us in at the front desk, and we had requested, since we booked it literally. I think we're some of the first people to book it. We wanted to be on the very, very top floor, and so unfortunately, I think the drapes they said for the top floor were not available. They put us on the third floor. At first, we were a little bummed out about that, but then when we stood outside and looked at the hotel, we realized it was actually kind of a blessing, because if you're in that top floor with the terrace, there's no roof. So we would have got rained on and we would not have been able to enjoy that terrace. So that was actually kind of a blessing in disguise.
Right, since it drizzled on and off all evening.
Yep.
Then we could still sit outside and enjoy the beautiful views.
Yep.
And see all the lights come on at Eastport and not get wet. Look how beautiful Eastport is, all lit up at night. It is so cool. It's a really great atmosphere.
So it's been raining off and on. We've tried to go over to Sunset Island 2 or 3 times, and we got about halfway down the little sidewalk here, and we always have to turn back. So it's not raining right now. Then we're gonna try to walk around Sunset Island, and then we're gonna head to dinner at Yamas.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Let's go. We were in room 344, if you were wondering. That was our suite number. The other little negative thing was, so didn't get the top floor like we wanted, blessing in disguise. They checked us in, they gave us our room keys, which I showed in the previous video. I don't have one in front of me right now. You do have to use your room key to access the elevator. Everybody's welcome to kind of walk in and meander and check out the lobby, the lower level.
Go to the bar.
Go to the bar and stuff like that. But if you want to go to the upper levels, you have to be a registered guest and have a room key. So that was nice. So we rode to the third floor. We had our cameras out to kind of give you that POV experience. And as we walked up to our room, the doors were open, and the Villages had their whole marketing staff in there, still taking photos, still doing videos of the room. 342 and 344. I think they're in our way. So the elevators are about halfway down the hall there. We're staying here at the very, very end. There's only 2 rooms down here, room 342 off to our left, and we are room 344. Got the do not disturb sign out. So let's step inside and give you the grand tour.
Welcome to the King Terrace Suite.
So we didn't get to check into our room immediately. So that's why when we did the grand ribbon cutting ceremony, I went in there and did that by myself. Why Tiffany, because now they had our room ready, Tiffany went there and filmed everything for us,
So
right?
the photos you see on the website of the Terrace King rooms,
There you
that's
go.
our room.
There you go.
Because they were in there doing all the whole photo shoot.
So what was probably the hospitality staff was our 1A, maybe it was our 1B. What was probably our other favorite thing about the hotel room that we stayed in?
So our favorite thing was, I'm going to do a slash.
Okay.
Was location / views.
Okay.
The views are absolutely gorgeous. Now, take that with the caveat that straight across, and Michael showed you, and he'll probably show you here somewhere in the video, it is construction.
Right.
You know, there is construction going on. All those lots that were, you know, 400 to 600,000, 599
Yep.
are straight across, and they'll be building on those soon.
Yep.
But it was kind of fun to watch all the trucks, kind of like little ants,
There
going
you
back
go.
and forth, and all the activity. But then the views of the lake, Central Lake, Sunset Island, was so nice to get up the next morning and see everybody out for their morning walk.
Yep.
Because the walking path is open around Central Lake. So everybody was out walking and talking, and just the views were so beautiful and relaxing. And then the location, you can't beat it. If you want
Right.
to be near the new section,
Yep.
we actually ran into a few people who had just closed on their house in Edenfield
Yep.
and were staying at the hotel a couple nights while they got everything situated. So again, that's the perfect reason to stay there. Or if you happen to have family in town and they want to stay, or you're just visiting and you're not doing a lifestyle stay, an official lifestyle preview visit, then the location of the hotel is absolutely perfect and golf cart accessible.
So 1A would probably be the hospitality. 1B for me would be the views that she explained. Love, love, love that. And then 1C would definitely be there's only a couple of things open in Hotel Eastport. So as more businesses and restaurants come online, it's going to be better down the road. But we were able to walk to Yamas. We were there for opening night. We'll tell you a little bit more about that experience here in just a second. But yeah, the views from our room were just unbelievable. And yeah, we met a lot of folks or ran into a lot of folks who are already part of our awesome community that have been joining us on previous 5K events or our bus trips that you actually stayed there for opening night as well. I think they have 120 hotel rooms available to book. Not all of them were ready for opening night, and I think they had 40 guests or 40 rooms booked for that night. So that was great that we could see you and kind of sit in the lobby and chat and stuff like that. But yeah, the view from our terrace, whether it be in the morning or whether it be in the evening with the lights, was absolutely beautiful. In the evenings, you can definitely, if you look off to your left, you can see the federal prison over there. Not going to lie to you, some big, beautiful lights over there you'll see. You get a prime view of the federal prison. And then when you look right off the terrace or the balcony or whatever you want to call it, and you look off in the distance, you can see way off in the distance over there, it's the Florida Turnpike. And it's, what is it called? The Okahumpka
Service Island.
Yeah. You can't hear the Florida Turnpike from
No,
there,
you can't.
but you can definitely see it. So if you're looking straight on and you look out across all the houses and everything, you can definitely see the Florida Turnpike from there.
Now, when they build the houses
Yeah.
straight across, you might not be able to see it quite as much.
You'll still be able to see the prison
prison.
because the guard towers and the
Yeah.
lights are way up in the air.
Yeah.
Don't hear any noise or anything, but you just let you know you can definitely see
Yeah.
that, right? So it's kind of a weird thing that we're in our own little bubble here and they're in their own little bubble right there, and there's only a street kind of separating us. But the views were awesome. So before we share with you a couple of negative things or maybe some room for improvement, let's talk about the other positive things. We already mentioned the proximity of being able to walk to dinner. So where did we go for dinner on opening night?
So we went to Yamas, and it was opening night for them as well. They did have a friends and family soft opening before, so they had practiced, they said. The interesting thing is you can't get to the restaurant through the hotel, like from the hotel. You do need to walk outside or come down the sidewalk by Central Lake and enter Yamas there. Yamas is the Greek equivalent of Cheers. So just kind of think of that bright, fun, modern look. Really liked the look of the restaurant.
Absolutely. And to back up real quickly, Tiffany did a great job on that because I totally forgot about booking anything for dinner. I booked the hotel and totally forgot about it. And Yamas did sell out for opening night. So thankfully, she was smart enough and went and booked our reservations well in advance.
As soon as I saw that they were doing reservations for the restaurant, I hopped on and got the reservations.
And they were taking walk-ups, so they were telling everybody it'd be at least 30 minutes to an hour. And so thankfully, we got in there. And like you said, it was beautiful. And then what else did they do? The staff was great. Everybody was super, super friendly. And I checked in a little bit early because we popped our head in there and we could see the restaurant. You had a bunch of tables in the middle. You had some bar seating. And then off to the side, they had 4 little distinct booths that were kind of all enclosed, which were full. So we put our name, even though we had reservations, we put our name on the list and said, hey, we'd be willing to wait for one of those. And so while we were waiting for those, we went over there and walked to Sunset Island, even though it was drizzling, and took some video showing you from Sunset Island, showing you Hotel Eastport and what it looks like lit up at night. And soon as we got over there to Sunset Island, they buzzed my phone right on time. Our reservations were for what time again? 7 p.m. and said our booth, our table was ready. So now we go back to the restaurant. We went in and pick up from there.
All right, so we looked at the menu. Again, service was great. Took a little while to get started, but opening night.
Oh, yeah.
But Jen was fabulous. Wonderful hospitality again. The manager was very active that night, and he was making sure everything was running well and was stopping by to check on everybody. So, again, hospitality is going to go way up here, just like the hotel. If you're expecting a traditional Greek menu, you'll be a little surprised. There were a couple things on there, like the falafel pita, which is what I had, but the falafel's made with edamame rather than chickpea. And so they didn't have your traditional like gyros and some things like that. And some of the traditional dishes, they put a new spin on. So Nolan had the pasticcio, which is usually almost like it's a noodle dish, almost with like a macaroni or lasagna, like layered dish. They put it over bucatini. So kind of the same taste, but just a different twist on it. And then Michael thinks that he had the winning dish, and we'll let him tell you about that. But before we did that, we did order an appetizer.
They had a bunch of appetizers to choose from, and I think he chose the most expensive one, right?
Of course I did. We chose the mezze platter, which was a trio of dips, which was the beet labna, the eggplant dip, and their hummus, served with pita points and some fresh crudités like cucumbers and carrots, and they were very fresh and very crisp.
And the olives, the Greek olives, all that kind of stuff. They were marinated. Very beautiful presentation, kind of that big charcuterie board and stuff like that. It was delicious and was really, really good. That's probably the only thing on the menu when we stopped and thought about it at the end of our meal that was probably a little overpriced in my opinion. To me, I don't know if it was quite worth the amount that we paid for it, but it was delicious. It was darn delicious. It was darn delicious. And then right as we're getting our regular appetizer that we ordered, some of you that are part of our awesome community, you had dinner reservations for 6 o'clock, so you'd already beaten us and you were across the way over there. We waved to you. Several of you that were in there we waved to. We came in the restaurant and you were super awesome that you sent us over an appetizer that we absolutely thought about, but we didn't try. And what do we get?
So Jim and Sue sent us over the saganaki, I think is how you say it. It's the flaming cheese. So it comes out and I think it's grilled with like garlic butter, and then they pour the ouzo on top and set it on fire, and then they yell, "Yamas!"
About to get a flaming Leg, forward on. Hey. Yamas!
But only the manager, I'm guessing, from a liability and insurance is allowed to actually bring it to your table and set it on fire. So they had gotten the very first one. They wanted it, and I think they said no, they couldn't serve it, but the manager said they could, so they served them. They got the very first one of those, and since they enjoyed it so much, they sent us over one. So thank you so much. Number one, it's fun for the little tableside presentation. Number two, it was delicious. So I highly recommend that as well too, right?
Yes.
And then she mentioned Nolan earlier. If you're brand new here, that's our only son.
Oh, yeah.
Nolan's here. He's visiting in town for the holidays, so he's staying here in our home. He didn't stay with us in the hotel, but since we did have opening night reservations for the dinner, he drove all of 5 minutes to get over to meet us that night, had dinner, walked around with us a little bit for Sunset Island, and he came back home while we enjoyed the rest of that. So I'm kind of I like a little bit of everything, and I always like to hear from other folks, hey, what did you like, before I actually, order it. Plus, we always try to get something different. And so I'd only talked to one of you that actually eaten there before us, and you said that the Wagyu cheeseburger was to die for. So it was $20, and so that's what I went for. I got the Wagyu burger, and it was on point. So it seems like everybody charges, $20-25 for a burger nowadays. It doesn't matter where you go. This burger lived up to it, and so I let everybody else have a bite of it. But I told them, I elbow fight you for this burger. It was that good.
He's already planning on going back for it. So that's how good it is.
And hopefully they'll serve that at lunch as well too. But it's probably one of the best burgers. It's probably one of the best burgers I've had here in the Villages so far.
In the Villages.
I'd say it's probably the top two so far that I've had in the Villages so far. Yep.
It's on par with the burger at Palmer's.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty darn good too.
Yep. And it's served with fries for $20. So again, pretty
reasonably priced.
Reasonably priced, good value for today.
Yep.
For today's prices. So we really enjoyed that. We wanted to wait and have dessert over at the ice cream shop, so we weren't getting dessert.
We'd already got up and were saying our goodbyes. They cleaned our table and stuff.
Talking to some more people that we met on the way out of the restaurant, and one of the waitresses comes up and asks them if they wanted the baklava sundae, and they had actually already had dessert, so they're like, no. But thank you, and they had an extra from the kitchen because of an order mix-up, and Michael goes, we'll take it.
Yeah, hey, if it's free, I'll gladly try it. I'll gladly take one for the team because when they brought it out, the presentation looked really great. So, yeah, like Tiffany said, we were saving our appetite to go have ice cream at Sundaze, but we gladly ate that.
We did. They ate most of it. I'm allergic to cinnamon, so I can't have a lot of baklava stuff, but the ice cream was good, and the phyllo dough was good.
Highly recommend that. Highly recommend that. And then for opening night, our waitress, she was awesome. She heard that we were going over there, and so they had little gift cards that night, so you can get a free ice cream scooper sundae over at Sundaze. So we walked down, 100 yards, maybe 100 yards down to Sundaze and the drizzly rain, and we went in there, and the staff there was awesome. The two girls running the place, they were just very enthusiastic, welcomed everybody in. They'll let you sample any and every flavor that you want to try. So we all got some ice cream that night, enjoyed our ice cream. We sat over there in the corner, and while do you remember what you had?
I had mint chocolate chip and Kahlua Crunch.
That was good.
Which was a winner.
Yeah, I can't remember what I had. Something was chocolate and something was peanut butter. That's my two favorite flavors, and put those together in a combination that was awesome. And while we were sitting there, we were almost done. The executive chef for the hotel and Yamas and all that, he comes walking through and checking in on them, and very, very nice. And he asked us, had we tried the vanilla yet? Like, no, it's one thing that we hadn't tried.
It's vanilla.
So he went over and he kept explaining to us how good this vanilla was because they get it from Yoder's, right?
Right. So it's from the Amish Creamery that is part of Yoder's down in the Sarasota area, if you're familiar with that.
So he kept oohing and ahhing about this and went and got us a little sample cup for us to try that. And I will say that the vanilla was pretty darn good, but it's hard to beat chocolate and peanut butter combined, It's
made with 3 different vanillas.
Yep.
So it's really, really good. And right now they have a peppermint swirl or peppermint chip for the holidays, and they'll rotate that out with something after the holidays are over. So again, hospitality way up there. They were so nice, and then of course the ice cream. It's kind of that chewy ice cream is how we describe it.
Yep.
So Really, really good. We will definitely be back. If you're out walking around the Eastport area, stop in for ice cream. And they are open till 10 p.m.
Yay.
Yay! Things are staying open past 9 o'clock.
Here in the Villages, yep.
And it's on the door, so it's official. It's open till 10 p.m.
So the other great thing is after we finish up our ice cream, Tiffany doesn't really drink, and I don't drink much either, but it's nice to have that indoor-outdoor bar. So we went there and sat outside and kind of had a nightcap. And so that bar is going to be a huge, huge hit because you can sit outside with the water back behind you. We have the few bar seats outside looking into the hotel, or you can sit on the inside of the hotel all the way around the bar and then look out at that beautiful view of Central Lake. So all in all, and everybody there was great, for the...
Sam was awesome.
Yep. So just a great overall hospitality experience. And Tiffany and I, we've done so much traveling in our career. We've stayed in a lot of hotels and a lot of restaurants and stuff like that. So I just, again, thank you everybody for living up to the hospitality side every single where we went, and the food quality was awesome as well too. So we had a great experience. We went up to our room and went to sleep, and then got up the next morning. And what did we do after that?
Well, that night we sat out on the balcony, enjoyed the view a little bit more, and then I took a very long bath in my favorite part of the room, which was the bathtub.
There you go.
And then the next morning we got up and explored Eastport more and took a morning walk, which was fun.
What's up, everybody? It's definitely an awesome day to be in FLA. We have much better weather this morning than we did yesterday afternoon. We checked into Hotel Eastport. So real quickly, spoiler alert, our favorite thing about Hotel Eastport is definitely this awesome view. It stopped raining by the next morning, but it was super, super windy. With the backside of that front, it was really, really windy. We thought we could go over to Sunset Island and vlog, but my hat was blowing off my head and all that kind of stuff. So it was a much more beautiful day, but it wasn't really good audio day.
Right, and it is much windier over on Sunset Island than it is on the hotel shore.
Yep.
I guess just the way it moves through there with the water. So we came back and enjoyed our room for the rest of the afternoon. Yeah,
we sat there on that terrace until literally 2 minutes until it was time to check out.
Yes.
Yeah, we just enjoyed that view, enjoyed that, and then we reluctantly, wheeled our luggage out of there and said goodbye to everybody and kind of called it a day, right?
Yes, and then came home and rested from resting.
Well, because we've been traveling like crazy all week that week. That's true. All right, so I'm going to show you the entire tour of Tiffany, walking through and giving the room tour here so you can see what it looked like for yourself. Anything to mention, positive or before we get to those couple of negative things?
The bed was very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. So
okay.
It's a king-size bed.
Yep.
And I also felt like the sheet count was a very high sheet count.
Yeah.
So very nice sheets, very nice linens. The towels were very fluffy. Again, I know it was the first night, but they were the good Monarch. They were really good towels.
Very absorbent. That was great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everything in there, we liked what would you call the amenities, like the soaps and the shower gel and everything smelled very good and fresh.
Yep.
So all of that that they provide for you was really high end and was done very, very well.
Yeah. So now it's time for a couple of negative things, right?
All right, so some room for improvement.
Okay, that's what Tiffany was called. Because it was our room, so room for improvement. There you go, I like that.
Room for improvement.
Well, number one would just be the room itself. As you walk into the King Terrace suite, it is a ginormous room. It is ginormous, and you have a bunch of empty space right there, right? Which kind of leads us to our first thing, room for improvement, is...
the furniture.
Yeah.
So in the seating area of that large room is just a small, I'm not even call it a sofa. It's more like a love seat size.
I don't know, it's something you'd expect in kind of like a waiting room. It looks very beautiful. Take photos of it and stuff like that. The little couch and the little chair looks, but it's just tiny.
Right. The two of us couldn't sit on it and watch TV at night.
Yep.
It was not comfortable. It's not relaxing.
Well, it wasn't comfortable at all. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah.
That was one of the hardest, and we've stayed in a lot of hotel rooms. That furniture in that living room area is not comfortable whatsoever. It was hard. She was in there taking a bath. I was trying to just get comfortable sitting there, like, I can't do it. I'm just going to sit on the terrace, which is better anyway. It is not comfortable sitting on any of that furniture in the living area for more than 5 minutes. There's no back support, there's no neck support, and you're sitting on this little stuff, and the TV is way across the other side of the room, and it's in that size of room, that size of wall. It's only a little tiny 55-inch TV. So it's very, just cavernous space. It just seemed like a lot of wasted space right there. So it'd be much better if you had so much better, a bigger, lounging, like L-shaped something, and a nice, comfortable chair. There wasn't even anyone in the bedroom as well either. You had a little desk chair in the bedroom, and you had the two little tiny chairs, that little tiny table. But again, the chairs, none of the seating in that place was comfortable, in my opinion, whatsoever.
Right, except on the terrace. Those were pretty comfortable.
Right, so inside. Yeah.
Now, it all went with their mid-century modern
Yeah.
look, but that means low backs, very sleek, that type of thing. So visually, I could see what they were going for, but it was not comfortable to just relax and enjoy. Another room for improvement, this is a suggestion, they have music playing outside.
The town squares, all the town squares have music playing. They have the outdoor speakers here at Eastport as well, too, right?
But at the hotel that evening, there was no nightly entertainment that one night there. They were playing kind of like
contemporary jazzy,
it had like a bass beat to it.
Yep.
So we could hear it slightly in the room, with the door closed in the living area. We couldn't hear it in the bedroom, but we could hear it in the living area because I think the speaker was right on that corner.
That was the problem, because the speaker, they had it up high, so right out from our room, we were at level with that speaker, so it was kind of hard to relax as much as you would like to, because the music was just piping in right there, and it was hard for us to stand out in the balcony and vlog, because if you're playing commercial music and it's playing in the background, we're going to get a copyright strike. So
or just to sit on the terrace and relax, because they play the music all night long.
All night long,
and so even at midnight, we're out there and there's music going. So I like to sit out and read on the terrace, things like that. So that was a little difficult. I would take headphones and
play your own music playlist. There you go. That's a good advice. So
that's right.
Anything else for improvement there?
I don't think so, because again, like the shower was very nice, the tub was nice, the bathroom was well laid out. You had 2 bathrooms, you had a 1.5 bath, so that was nice. There were a couple things missing, but I think it's because it was just open, so we didn't have an ironing board or iron, but the website says that should be included. So my guess, it was just the first night, and there's a couple things that they're still stocking.
Yeah, so there was a room safe that, even though we didn't need a room safe, I looked everywhere. I couldn't find the room safe with this big, huge wet bar area that you would think would be awesome to have like a microwave or a coffee maker. None of that in the room. It doesn't say there is one on the website, but there's all these little cubbies. There's space for it. So that is an area for room for improvement. There is no coffee maker in there. They do serve complimentary coffee down in the lobby in the morning, but you got to get there and get it at a certain time. You got to remember to bring your card with you as well too. But after that, there's no coffee, no complimentary water or anything like that. I think at the bar in the evening they had that mixed water for you, where you put the fruit in there and stuff like that. That was great. But just be forewarned, if you're a coffee lover like I am, you might want to bring your own coffee maker and your own coffee to make sure you have coffee.
Enough coffee.
Enough coffee, yeah.
So I think that goes into one more thing to be cognizant of. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a negative, but it's something to think about that we didn't think about. So their breakfast in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
So their breakfast at the hotel is you have to buy. They had items for you to buy.
And we didn't buy it, so we skipped the breakfast.
Right. So you do get the complimentary coffee. They give you a card, like you said, but the food items you need to buy extra. And if you don't like what they have or you don't want to buy it there, there's really no other options in Eastport right now. There's some things you can buy over in the sales center at their coffee shop as well.
Right, and little quiches and things like that.
Yeah, a little Danish. But there's really nowhere to eat breakfast yet. So I know there's a great breakfast place that's going to open in Eastport next year. But until some more things open in that area, keep that in mind for your breakfast. The closest thing I think would be like Reveille in Magnolia Plaza.
There you go.
Which is a great option, one of our favorites.
Yep.
So just something to think about. I wouldn't say it's a negative.
Right.
It's just something to keep in mind.
So maybe in the future they'll offer more breakfast items or more complimentary items and stuff like that. Just, yeah. But all in all, we had a great experience.
We did.
Glad we got to be the very first ones there. We got our little souvenirs. We'll hold on that forever. If you've watched any of our videos, you know I'm kind of the nostalgic one. I hold on to all kind of stuff like that. So, yeah, have you been to Hotel Eastport yet? Have you walked through and done a tour? Let us know in the comments below. Are you coming to the Villages soon to check it out? Let us know in the comments below. Yeah, so we'll end the video with Tiffany doing the walkthrough of the hotel room itself. Anything else to share with folks?
Get down there and enjoy Eastport area. There's entertainment going on, and there's more restaurants and bars opening, so get down there and enjoy it.
Have an awesome, awesome rest of your week. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next video.
We are up on the 3rd floor, and we're about to walk into where our suite is, but I wanted you to notice that there's 2 rooms here, 342 and 344, and there's double doors here as well. So you could rent both, or reserve both of these rooms and shut it off here and have one large suite. So that is good to know. We're in room 344. It is one of the King Terrace suites. So let's go on in and show you. All right, we walk into kind of the lobby area. I'm going to close the door here. So plenty of space here to bring in your luggage. We actually have our luggage right here. We're showing you the room before we mess it all up. You may see it later messy, but we thought we'd show it to you when it was looking all pretty first, since we're the first people to stay in this room. So that is so awesome, awesome. We have a full-length mirror here, which is nice. And I love the color of the walls. I'm not sure it translates very well on camera, maybe in one of the other rooms. It's a very, very light, I don't know, teal, Tiffany blue, very, very light. And then there's accent colors other places. And so just really helps open up the space and make it look really grand, which is nice. All right, as soon as you come in is the first bathroom. This is a half bath. Ta-da! Hi. So if you have friends or family over, then they can use this restroom. Or you have 2 restrooms to get ready in, 2 bathrooms to get ready in the morning instead of having to share a bathroom. So this is a single sink. And they are including these Vita Verde amenities. So they have a body lotion and a bar soap there. Hi. And then they have the toilet area. And then there's also room here if somebody needs to get dressed. Plenty of space so you don't feel too crowded in here. All right, there's the full-length mirror. We'll go into the living area. As you come in this area, you'll see there's a small table and 2 chairs. This is a very large area. So we were thinking that there really could be a larger table there or larger chairs. It's a nice little area to sit at and work or just eat a bite if you need to. But this space is really large. So it would be nice to have a little bit bigger table in that area. All right, we will just do a pan around just so you can kind of see the whole room. They do have this vinyl plank, luxury vinyl plank in the room, and then they have some carpets kind of where you need them, right? If you're sitting and want to be cozy or getting out of the bed, there is carpet there. So over here we have the TV, and we have a TV stand. So there's some room to store some things there if you need to. And then around this way, you'll see there is an exit to the terrace, which we will show you in just a little bit. But look at these windows, kind of floor to ceiling windows in here. It is kind of a gray day outside today. Unfortunately to show you this, but imagine this on a gorgeous sunny day, everything, all of the beautiful scenery that you'll be able to see. And you'll also be able to see construction. We'll see that in just a little bit when we go out. But as we move over here, we have the seating area. We like the kind of tropical look with those paintings there behind the sofa. So that's a lot of fun. And there's just that one small sofa. It's more of a maybe love seat size. And then this teal chair over here with a small coffee table in the middle. I guess this is sort of like even if you live in the villages. You're here to be out and doing a lot of things and being active, so you won't be in the room too much. Over here we do have a wet bar area. And this kind of has a fun little note. Remember, this is opening night. We're the first people to be in here. And so you can see this says, "My big brother is on his way. He will be replacing me very soon. I'm sorry for my appearance." So right now it's just a little beverage cooler, but it will be a mini fridge. And that's on its way. So there's a nice kind of marble quartz bar area here. And then you also have your wet bar sink. And then they have a few little fun things like a pull-out drawer for the garbage can. So it just keeps everything nice and neat and a little more storage underneath the sink. All right, that's the wet bar area. We are gonna head into the bedroom area. That is a king bed. You can see it's just very simple and clean and kind of minimal decoration, but in a good way. I'm going to show you the closet right here. So there's a closet here in the main bedroom, and there's a little surprise in there. So they do have complimentary robes while you were staying here. Plenty of places to hang up everything. But we did notice that there is not a luggage rack anywhere. And I also do not see an ironing board or iron. So I don't know if those are coming or if they will not have those here. I guess you could use the little bench seats here to put your luggage on for now. We like to use those to sit and put our shoes on. Anybody else there with us? All right, again, I love the teals. They continued kind of that tropical feel above the bed. And it's nice they didn't put that wallpaper all the way to the top. It could look very busy, right? So again, it's got that nice, soft, kind of light bluish teal paint up there that really makes it feel very grand, very large. So over here we have the TV and the desk area and the phone. If you need to do work, great area. I wanted to show you this before we put all our electronics all over it. You know, we usually plug them up and they're kind of all over the place. So there are only 2 plugs right here, and one is taken for that lamp. So we'll have to see where we're gonna plug everything in. But very nice area, and there are 4 large deep drawers for you to use there if you need to. And then a nice rolling desk chair. All right, there's a door outside to the terrace. We'll go out there again in just a minute. We'll show you beside the nightstands. So there are 2 plugs here and 2 USBs as well. And then they do have these smart lights. They have them here. They have them in the whole suite and the rooms. And I must not be very smart because we're having a hard time figuring them out. So you have to kind of figure those out, but they are nice. You can dim them, you can turn lights up, you can turn them down. And that's great because you can turn lights on or off once you get in bed. So then you make sure that you don't trip and fall in the middle of the night. So that's great. There's even a night light button on there. So we'll have to see what that looks like. All right, here's the master bath. Can't wait for you to see this. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that gets excited, but look what there is as soon as you walk in. Ta-da! So full-size soaking tub. So excited. I do miss a bathtub. We have the regular little bathtub in our guest, bathroom, but I miss just that full-size soaking tub. So again, love the tropical feel right above it. And the tub also has a handheld shower wand so you can wash your hair, whatever you need to in there. All right, so over here it does have dual sinks, and they do have a hair dryer. They have lots of fluffy towels for you. Again, a little bit of space, which is nice. Lots of space to get ready, lots of counter space. I really appreciate that in a hotel, because you want to be able to kind of spread out. Michael has his stuff, I have my stuff, but you know what? There's also a second bathroom, so you can each have one if you need to spread your stuff out even more. All right, I'm going to walk all the way up here to the counter and then turn around, because it's kind of hard to show just how large this bathroom is. Very spa-like, with the lighter floors and again, the beautiful paint, whatever color this is. I think I need to find out what color this is from them. I'm sure they can tell me. Besides the tub, they do have the full walk-in shower. It's very large. And they have the Vita Verde again. They have shampoo, conditioner, and body wash already included there for you, so you don't need to pack it, which is nice. And then on this side, we do have the kind of like rain shower head. And then we have the handheld shower wand as well. Again, it's kind of hard to show how large that is, but it's a very large walk-in shower. And then over here we have the WC closet under the toilet, and has a nice thick closing door. So everybody can have their privacy and can't hear anybody. These are very heavy, thick doors, which is nice. All right, well, we will go out to the piece de resistance, which is the Terrace. And one thing I love, well, first they have the regular drapes. So they do have the darkening drapes if you want to block out all the light, or you can just have the sheers open. So again, sometimes when it's too sunny, you do want the sheers, right? Just to have a little bit of break from that sun, but you want all that beautiful light coming in. You are in Florida after all. But one thing I like is these doors are regular doors, so you're not having to like pull, all your body weight to try to open a sliding glass door. So regular door. Make sure smoking is prohibited, even on the balconies. So, and people can see you out there, so can't break the rules. All right, so we'll come out here. It has stopped raining, which is nice. And we'll start over on this end. Again, it's kind of hard to see just how large the balcony is, but we'll come over here and we can see, of course, the parking lot. And one of the pavilions, but also the walking path starts over here. So you can just hop on this sidewalk here and walk all the way around Central Lake right now. Yes, you can see the guard tower down there across the way. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see the whole terrace, how long it is. It has 4 chairs and 2 small tables. So how great is it to sit out here with your coffee in the morning? And just enjoy the view or the sunset, right? We've got Sunset Island across from us. So over here you can just sit and enjoy. There's like the little amphitheater seating area over there. You got Sunset Island. You can see some people walking. So the walking path is open and goes all the way around. Now you might hear some music. That is the music from the outside of the hotel. We can hear it slightly in the living area of our room. So my guess is you're going to be able to hear the live music as well, because there is no live music this evening. They did start all the activities here at night, all the live entertainment earlier this week, but tonight they don't have any. But we can hear this hotel music in our living area. Can't hear it in the bedroom, but can hear it in the living area. So we'll go all the way down to this end of the terrace, and you'll be able to see the pool area. Plenty of loungers, and it is handicap accessible pool. And then you can see these are the regular balcony rooms. Again, beautiful views of Central Lake. 2 chairs and a table. So again, just enough to sit out there and have your morning coffee or your evening cocktail and watch the sunset. Right down here, you will see the new bar area. That's the outside bar area. You know, it's open. They can close those big sliding windows, but that's the outside bar area, and then they have the inside bar area in the lobby. And that is going to be open this evening, so everyone's welcome, whether you're staying here or not, to come down and enjoy the bar area here at Hotel Eastport. All right, so that is the view. I think Michael showed it to you pretty well in the last video as well, but it has quit raining and there's a little bit of sunlight, just a little bit, clearing skies, so maybe we'll get to see the sunset tonight. I'm excited. All right, and again, you can go in the living room, the living area, or the bedroom. So that is the King Terrace suite. We hope you enjoyed the tour.
We have much better weather this morning than we did yesterday afternoon. We checked into Hotel Eastport. Let's go downstairs, let's get some coffee. We'll walk around Sunset Island. We got our coffee, check. It's a beehive of activity with all of the beverage companies making their daily deliveries. And just check out this awesome view. You can see both Hotel Eastport off to the left and Sunset Island off to the right. Tiffany found her a nice little spot down here to enjoy her coffee. Hi.
Hi, the breeze is so nice today.
So we picked up a copy of the Village's Daily Sun down the lobby. You can see today is Friday, December the 19th. And right there on the front page, they had all about the grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony here at Hotel Eastport yesterday. So we got about an hour before we got to check out. We waited to the very, very last minute to kind of share with you our overall experience of being the first people to actually stay in Hotel Eastport. So my name is Michael.
I'm Tiffany.
And so if you're brand new here to our channel, we've been documenting and sharing our experiences and our expenses. That's what the E stands for in TVE for basically the last 2 years, all the way back to our lifestyle visit almost 2 years ago to buying our house here in the Villages. And then we've been documenting the development of the Eastport area, especially all the different neighborhoods. So we've been super, super excited not only for Eastport Town Center to open up, but more specifically Hotel Eastport, right?
Yes, so we saw it being built from every time we drive over the bridge. You could see it slowly adding a floor and getting finished. So when we heard that it was opening up, we had to come.
Yep, so remember, we're just sharing our personal experiences. Your experience and your opinions may vary, right?
That's right.
So how much did we actually spend on our King Terrace suite for opening night, December the 18th, 2025? Well, they had a lot of different rates. You could have prepaid, non-refundable, and got a little bit better discount, but I went with the AARP discount and got 10% off. So our room cost us $269.10. Taxes were $18.84. So total it was $287.94. And thankfully, we did book it way back in November because I checked the night of when we checked in and they actually increased the prices. So if you were to book the exact same room for the next night, it would have cost you $369 pre-tax before any discounts, but they were offering the AARP discount of $332 per night plus an additional $23 in taxes.